So I'm sharing my experience of a vaginal assessment, so an internal assessment of the vagina after you've had a baby. Now I've had 3 of these now. Let me give you a background. My birth was an instrumental delivery. We didn't have any drugs. We started off with hypnobirthing. It was all good. And then shit hit the fan and everyone got involved. Ended up with a 3C tear, so almost 4th degree tearing, which means it's ripped from front to back. Ouch. And I have now a levator avulsion on my right side, which means the muscles coming off of the pubic bone a bit from the violence of the birth. So I had physio work with me when I first gave birth, just doing basic Kegel stuff, and I had an internal assessment. Then I had another one probably a year later, and now my son is 3 years old almost, and we're looking to have another baby. So I'm all for trying to understand what's going on with my pelvic floor now, see if I've helped strengthen what has been going on, improved it in some way, and will I need to be doing anything else in order to carry another baby, and just to understand if I have been doing the right things for my pelvic floor. Now this third assessment was amazing, like really thorough. I had an hour of talking to her about everything that's gone on with my health and my body and my trauma, and then another hour of an internal vaginal assessment. And I'm sharing my story because I want women to feel comfortable having these assessments and know that whatever birth you've had, whether it's a vaginal or a C-section, whether you've experienced trauma or not, I believe it's always best to go and get checked to know the stage of your pelvic floor, because it's going to affect so many different things in your life and it stops you functioning at your best. And the pelvic floor is overlooked, and it's super important to have it functioning. And just doing Kegels, which generally just gets thrown at you just to do, just like 10 pulses, hold, whether you're sitting down or lying down, that's all well and good. However, how do you know if your pelvic floor is overactive, super strong, or weak, underactive? They have the same symptoms, which I didn't know. So you could be doing Kegel exercises and strengthening and then actually be doing more harm than good. So understanding your unique pelvic floor is so important. Now with me, because I have one side, I was feeling a lot of, when I was doing core work, particularly deep inner core work, where I get my diaphragm involved with my pelvic floor and my core, I was getting sort of achy sensations down my left side here, and getting a really tight psoas, so my hip flexor on my left side too. So I've been stretching it out, and this has only been coming up recently the more I've been doing core work and really getting that strong for the last 6 months. So getting this checked was interesting, and she felt that my left side was stronger than my right, and my right side was where the levator avulsion was, so the muscle of the pubic bone. And because the right side is weaker than the left, the left is overcompensating and causing more issues and that sensation when I do core work, and that tightness in my hip flexor, which is amazing. So I said, okay, well, that's all well and good. What do we do? And she said, you can actually start doing work on relaxing that left side so that you can strengthen the right side more, and you can start getting more of a balance. And what really resonated with me was that just because I have this muscle coming off the pubic bone, which sounds really horrendous, and then when you look online it says that you should get surgery, she said you don't have to get surgery. You're not broken. You have all this other muscle in your pelvic floor that you can strengthen and add support where the weaknesses are. So you can function at your optimal and be pain-free. You'll never be 100% because I still have that muscle off the pubic bone, but it's not a big deal like the stuff that I was told it seemed horrendous, like, oh wow, you know, surgery, this is intense. And this is why I share it with you, because I want people to understand that whatever situation you're left in after birth, there's always something you can do to get out of pain and get functioning, and feeling better and more confident about yourself. And which is why I believe this vaginal assessment is so key, and finding a really good pelvic floor specialist to help you with that. Now I will be sharing a video of my actual assessments so that women can be confident and know that it's not horrendous. Like, in your head you think, oh, you know, you're gonna assess me, you're gonna stick your fingers inside my vagina. It's all a bit like, oh, you know, even if you have had birth, and specifically if you've had birth trauma, then maybe trauma might come up for you. This woman in particular was amazing. We had that conversation for an hour, then we went into the assessment. You lie on your back, you have a towel, on this video you'll see, but you have a towel covering your legs, and then you're just relaxing down. And she's not as if she's got her head in your crotch the whole time with her fingers inside you. She explains everything that she's about to do before she's going to do it, and then she asks your permission. And she's explaining, so she'll have a quick look, she'll do a test on whether you are at risk of having a prolapse, if you have a prolapse, so things like holding your pelvic floor, understanding how you hold your pelvic floor, if that is the correct way of doing it, and she'll help you to improve that. And then having a cough, holding your pelvic floor, having a cough without holding your pelvic floor, to assess if there is risk of prolapse. And then she feels inside everywhere the different parts of the muscles, because she understood obviously that she needed to feel one side to know that one side was stronger than the other for me. And she explains, so she's not got her head in there just doing this, she's just talking to you, and you've got your towel covered over, and she's just got her fingers inside you to feel the muscle and asking you to do certain things. Very relaxing, very kind, very genuine, and I didn't have my birth trauma come up for me. I didn't feel like, oh, this is something I can't handle, I want you to get out of my situation. She felt scar tissue down my left side too, which felt uncomfortable and weird, and something that I didn't know was there. That is fine as well. So whatever experience you've had with your birth, again, whether it's C-section or vaginal, C-sections involve the pelvic floor, so it's always best to get checked. Prevention is key. Especially if you're going to have another and another, or if you're done with your babies, or if you've gone pretty quickly from one pregnancy into another pregnancy, always get checked. It's always best to know what's going on so you can start putting things in place to help never feel pain and function at your best and be confident in your own body. And I will be posting the actual video of me being assessed at another stage. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. Otherwise, I am done.